Becca,
Hannah,
uh, no filter.
I thought about it. I was gonna mess with it, but I've delayed this too much already.
Yeah, it is her fault. We're recording later in the evening. Becca said already my room has a pinkish hue to it, and this lamp right here, it's my you can't see underneath it, but I have a dragon fruit plant that I'm desperately trying to keep alive. So I got this heating.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, it's only the second time.
This is like
I got this heating lamp for it, and I accidentally turned it off yesterday. So if you like leave it on, it will turn on the same time every day for there's like buttons you can tell it how long to turn on for.
yeah, you
I
got a
accidentally
preset.
yeah, I accidentally turned it off yesterday, so I had to turn it back on today. So now it's currently on. And it's red and blue lights, so it's giving a pinkish, according to Becca, a big pinkish hue to the whole room. But
It looks nice though. Usually, like, look, my background is just all white. I've got I technically have two posters, but my head's in the way. Like, it's boring. You got all your things, but then also color as well.
mm, Becca, I'm just okay. Three things of news. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we're currently recording this on during the big game. Uh,
The big game.
but neither of us care about football, so
Yeah, I watched the pre-show and then turned it off.
yeah. Um, so when this comes out on Tuesday, congrats to whoever won.
Congrats, go sports team!
Yeah, rah rah. Um, but I shared this with you already a little bit, but Stranger Things is coming out with a animated series. I believe it's called Tales from 85 and what's going on in that area. Um, but none other than my man, Jeremy Jordan, is voicing Steve the Hare Harrington. And
There couldn't be better news for Hannah.
literally, I might have to watch the show now. Although I say that, but I haven't watched the Tangled series or Has Been Hotel, and he's in those. So, but
You
yeah,
might
I
have to start.
he said he'd been holding on to that secret for years. So I wonder when they actually did all that. Um, in relation to the actual Stranger Things show. But alas. So, little tidbit there. Another big piece of news, Broadway. I posted this on my story. I don't know if you saw. Moulin Rouge is closing.
I did see this.
What?
Get like mouth open,
Literally.
shock face.
I was stunned. I was like, this can't be happening. No show can come to the Hirschfeld well, what is it? Al Hirschfeld Theater? I always say it wrong, but like theater is Moulin Rouge. This is crazy to me. Like, because if whenever I was in New York, it was like, well, we could just go see Moulin Rouge.
How long has it been going?
I want to say like 7 or 8 years. So like in the grand scheme of things, not a ton of time, but like I thought it was gonna stay there forever.
And it's like all of my favorites. They should
hmm
stay on forever.
I wonder what is gonna take its spot. Like Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge got me to New York for the very first time. That show and seeing Derek Klena in that role got me there for the very first time. And it's just like I love the movie so much, and I do prefer the movie over the show, but the show is still so special to me, and it's kind of sad that it's going away. Like other shows that I love, and like the only thing that has shocked me more than this was when Phantom announced that they were closing. That was jaw-dropping shock. Like other things that have closed, like I'm like, okay, yeah, it's had its time, good show, whatever. But Moulin Rouge, shook, shook. They cannot. Aaron Tveit has finally crawled his way out of Moulin Rouge by closing.
Who decides the show closes? Is it the producers, the owners of the theater?
It's gotta be the combination of everything, I'd imagine. I mean, money, whoever's controlling the money is deciding whether or not a show is closing or opening. Or what I believe to be true for Phantom's case is they're coming back, obviously. They're gonna come back. And so that they can win new awards. So like that would play into it as well for a show, but I don't see that as the reason for Moulin Rouge closing. And I have not done a ton of digging on this, but I feel like Moulin Rouge is always performing well as far as sales and profit. Like it's not at the bottom of the list always. So I don't know. I don't know who's doing this and why they're doing it to me, but they're doing it.
It
So
was a personal attack.
it feels like it. But in more exciting news, and my last bit of tidbit for you, how excited are you that The Muppet Show is back?
So I have known about this for a little bit before they released their little like. It's not a full like trailer or nothing, but it's like a little teaser thing that they did on some show. Uh, I've seen it. I have seen many, many, many things about how they did change slightly a, a note in the theme song.
One note.
They did change exactly one note, but it's a
Okay.
note that's repeated. And I'm like,
Mm.
when I first listened to it, I was like, it sounds off, and now I know why. And that's what I've been thinking about probably all week about this.
'Cause I saw a
Why would
video,
they? Why they changed? Why would they do that?
I don't know. I saw a video of them playing the old one versus the new one side by side, and it was like identical. But I didn't pick up on that
It's
note.
it's very slightly. They changed one note. So in the original, uh, I don't know what the name of the note is, but it's like a note that's not in the key. It's for color, right? But then they changed it to be in the key. So they changed it so it sounds. It doesn't sound better. That's not what I'm trying to say. But to me, it sounds worse because it should be like a note that gives more color. But it's not. It's
Mm.
not a huge difference. Like if you didn't tell me, oh, actually, I did notice, but I'm like you didn't notice. Like it's not a crazy change. But I'm like it gives me it doesn't give me hope for the rest of the show. I really dislike the guy who's doing Kermit currently.
Okay, I did hear stuff about this, and I've listened to his new Kermit voice. What is that?
Let's Google it. Who is doing right now?
Because like so many people have like a halfway decent Kermit impression. Whereas like you couldn't find anything just a little bit closer. It sounds manly, which Kermit shouldn't sound that way to me, at least.
It's Matt Vogel. He's been doing it since 2017, but I feel like specifically more recently than when he took over, he sounds different. Cause like
Yeah.
he voiced him in Haunted Mansion. I feel like Kermit, he sounds weird, right? He's a different guy, but he didn't sound that weird. But he definitely sounds that weird now.
Yeah.
Let me make sure it's actually the same guy.
So you have seen the new, what is it, just an episode or something?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I saw the promo that came out and then I didn't end up watching it.
oh, okay. Will you be watching, or has that one note taken
I
you
will
out?
be watching. I
Okay,
will be
okay.
watching.
Okay.
I just haven't yet. You know how long it took me to get this episode to come out, so like
True, true.
it just bugs me so much that I'm like I have other responsibilities like work and school and things, and now I also have to plan out like my leisure time as another set of homework. Like this is ridiculous. I'm like
Yeah,
I have to
well,
go home and watch 4 movies by Sunday, or else Hannah's gonna yell at me.
this has been the biggest ask
Yeah, yeah.
in all of the podcasts ever. Which great segue. We are talking about the second half of the Scream franchise. Um, so really, you've only had to watch three movie chunks. But really, it's still taking you, what, a month and a half?
No, when was the first? Oh, we talked about this last time. Where the last week where I thought I had scheduled for 2 weeks, but really I had 3 weeks, and I only
Mm-hmm.
watched them in those 2 weeks. And then what? Another week? So 4 weeks
Four
total.
weeks.
3 weeks of me actually thinking about it for 6 movies.
Yeah. I promise I won't do this to you again soon. So, but
Okay.
if there comes a time when, let's think. Well, we talked about all the movies coming out this year, and the only thing that could top this, if we needed to watch everything before it, oh, there's two things actually. One would be the Mandalorian movie. If we made each other, because I haven't finished it either, watched all of the Mandalorian series before the movie came out. And if we watched every Marvel movie leading up to Doomsday.
I don't think we're gonna do that though.
I don't think we're gonna do that either, but it is an option.
Yeah,
So,
if we need some space filler.
yeah.
Mandalorian is one that I'm like, I would want to watch that, but I feel like I couldn't. Like, I don't tend to watch the same thing until it's done. Which is
Okay.
why that's why I found it so particularly hard to watch Scream because they are incredibly similar. And they're made to be similar.
Mhm.
But I'm like, they're each enjoyable, but back to back to back to back?
I'm gonna go into this a little bit because I, a while back, I talked about how I was going through my Star Wars era and I was rewatching everything Star Wars and I was doing a deep dive into it and I was so into it. And I said, I'm watching everything chronological order from start to finish because I want to get to Ahsoka. Spoiler alert, have not gotten there yet because Mandalorian comes before Ahsoka and I find the Mandalorian very boring.
I've seen an episode and a half, and although I do think that there was a high quality episode, it did not strongly make me want to watch the rest of the show.
I watched season one when it came out. When season one came out, I was like, okay, pretty good. And then I didn't watch two or three, but then I was like, oh, I gotta watch it so I can watch Ahsoka. I am still in season two. I have not gone back to it. I just found it so boring. I did not really care to go back to it. I think I honestly might skip. Sorry, guys,
After
that's why I
all
watched.
this,
No, it's just like I still have a season and a half. What? Before I can get to Ahsoka? That's crazy. That's actually
the
crazy.
level of dedication you have to getting to just like because you've what you've heard about Ahsoka, you're like,
Well, I think widely considered it's like, it's good, but it's not great.
yeah,
I just want to watch it for Hayden Christensen.
that's what I'm saying. The level of dedication.
So, but here's the thing. I also want to see in what context Luke is showing up. Spoiler alert, Luke is showing up in Mandalorian.
That is spoiler alert. I was unaware. When does
Sorry.
the Mandalorian takes place? When
After the sequels before Ahsoka. Wait,
after all the sequels? I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
wait. Hold on. Yeah, wait, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I just know that he shows up at one point. I don't know why or when or how. That's why I'm like, oh, I have to keep watching Mandalorian? Uh, let's see. Okay, hold on. Great. I'm getting back into the Mandalorian. Da-da-da-da, Clone Wars, Mandalorian. Okay, Solo's Mandalorian. Oh, maybe it's before the prequels.
Before the prequels or before the
Or, sorry,
sequels?
before the sequels.
Before the sequels. This makes sense.
Wait, no, sorry, that was release order. Hold on. Kenobi. Okay, wait. Yeah, it is after. Okay, before the sequels, because it goes. The Mandalorian takes place right after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
There we go. That makes sense. Anyways. Anyways. Um, okay, let's actually talk about Scream. Let's get into Scream.
Segway.
Segue.
Segway.
Okay. We're talking about 4, 5, 6.
In
Yes?
in preparation for 7 that comes out this month. Here, okay, last time we did a little recap. I think I'm going to do it better this time. Here's my recap. Number 4 is they like as they refer to it as the things because like 1, 2, 3 they're like, oh, the first one makes fun of horror movies, the second is a sequel, the third one is the end of a trilogy. 4, they they call it a reboot in 4. However, it is a sequel. Um, so don't know about that. They 5 they do make fun of they call it a requel because it is neither a sequel nor it is it is a revival is what I like to say. It's not a reboot, but it is kind of a sequel, but it's not a sequel in the way that the other ones were a sequel in the way that they were trying to make them like a trilogy or whatever. And then 6 is the same thing where it is a direct sequel to the requel, but it is not a reboot of the previous ones. This is actually explained very well in the movies. They talk
Mm-hmm.
about this a lot, but I think it's still I just generally I dislike revivals. I can't think of a single revival that I enjoy. Usually it happens with like TV shows where they've like 3 or 4 seasons that came out forever ago, and then like 20 years later, like let's just add one more season on there with the same people, and then pretend like they happen back to back when the actors are all 10 years older. This is
Yeah.
they do this one does take place later in time though, which is nice. I'm getting off track.
4?
5 and 6.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, 4 doesn't. Anyway,
Four
continue. Sorry.
four comes out very close to 3, and then 5 and 6 come out 1 year after each
Yeah.
other.
5 and 6 are like the
The newest ones.
new age, whatever.
When I remember when 5 came out, I'd never seen it, but I remember when it came out, I thought it was a reboot completely. I thought it was had nothing to do with the other ones. But I also thought at the time, having seen none of them, but I had only seen the first one. I thought that everything past 2, like 2, 3, 4, 5, I thought they were all kind of like. You ever seen The Sandlot 2? Where it's the same plot, but it's different people. I thought it would be like that, which, oddly enough, is what they do in Scream, but it is the same people and the same thing, just with a different thing. But they do it well. They do it well,
Mm,
which is what we're talking about.
yes.
The interesting plot things that happen in 5. Now we're they're not in the same. No, that's 6. They're in the same city. But we were talking about Billy Loomis's kid that he had before he was dating
Are
Sydney.
you talking? What movie are you talking about? 5 right now?
Five,
Okay.
five, 5.
So we've skipped 4.
I will come back to 4, but I
Okay.
feel like there is a divide between because last episode I really wanted to talk about 4, mostly
Mm-hmm.
because I had seen it, but I feel like there is a very big divide between 4 and 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like 5 and 6 they go together. 5 they introduce all these new characters, and I think it takes it in a whole different direction. Like 6 doesn't follow, it doesn't read like a Scream movie. 5 kind of does, but 6 definitely does not. It's more just about the characters, and so we follow them, and like then 6 is just completely out of the water. Like, did you have thoughts, or do you want me to just
That was
keep rambling?
that was a great recap.
Yeah, I've now recapped everything that happened in those movies.
Okay. Let's go back to 4 for a second. I think so. We've seen the same characters 1, 2, 3 with adding a couple new people here and there. Um, Sydney, uh, uh, what's her
Davina
bucket?
Gale,
What'd you
Gale
say?
Weathers.
Yeah, Gail Weathers. I don't know. I don't know why when it comes to recording, I forget all of their names.
I think Gail Weathers is a funny name because I'm like that's a perfect like weather lady like name. Gail
Mm,
Weathers, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Sydney, Dewey, and Gale Weathers. Sorry. They are they're the continuation. They're in the group with the new characters added. Four, still very close to Sydney in the sense that relate the victims, the people related story centers around Sydney and Sydney's family. Five and six, different story. So four, I like that because in the first one, all three of those characters are not working together really at all, except for I guess Dewey and Sydney a little bit, but then it's also Dewey and Gale and but now we're in four and they're like this tight knit group that has grown together because they share this trauma. Um, which I kind of really love because if they had been like the same, like the character development makes it enjoyable to watch that core group, um, in a different way than it was enjoyable to watch them in one.
Yes,
Okay. I'm like, I hope I got that out in a sense that actually
I understood, but
made
if
sense.
hopefully you'll understand when you listen to this when it comes out,
Yeah.
and that's all we need to describe it.
Little tidbit. I talk about how I listen to every episode and I often forget about because we record a lot of these in advance. Um this one is probably one of our shorter turnarounds. Comes out in 2 weeks or something. Uh and but sometimes we record things like way in advance or we record it in advance and they get pushed because of some other things. And I often forget what I say and what we're talking about. There have been times recently where you say something and I react out loud in person the exact way I react on the pod, and I'm like, this is crazy. I need to.
Like what?
I can't remember the specific example. Like on one of the eps, you said something, and I had the exact same like whippy remark to you out loud as I did in the recording. I was like,
Do you often respond out loud while you're listening to the podcast?
not out loud. I'll say stuff in my head though all the time because I listen to these at work, and at work I work in a bakery, but like I'm usually doing my own thing separate from the rest of the group. So I'm kind of just in my own little area doing my thing. So nobody there I'm not like talking to anybody, and I'm just talking to myself again. Literally
It's
listening to
like the
myself.
coworker's like Hannah's over there mumbling to herself over there. Oh,
Literally.
what are you listening to? Myself from 3 weeks ago. Like,
Literally. Okay, anyway, back to Scream. Um yeah. Four. So do we want to talk about each individual one or just
I want
everything
to
as
talk
a
about
whole?
each individual one.
Okay, so sticking
Four,
with four.
yeah. Four, I enjoyed a lot, actually. I thought the way that it was going, I didn't think I would like it, but I kind of really liked it at the end where they really. In two and three, right? They're making fun of one as well. And so they
Hmm.
keep doing things, oh, we're going to do the same guy or the same thing in the same way. Four really hammered that in. We're going to bring you to the set of your old house and we're going to bring it and we're bringing all the people back and all that. And that's
Hmm.
like their whole bit that they kept they're like this is you got to bring it back to the basics, which is what they continually do in every single one. They're like, because they're repeating what did happen, and then they turn them into the stab movies, and they're repeating what happened in the movies, which is what happened in real life, and just going around in circles. Before was very more than the other ones,
Hmm.
in a way.
I think I mentioned stuff about this on our last Scream app, but I'm always surprised at who done it. I'm like, this is crazy. I didn't see that coming. I do when I was watching this one, right, in my recollection, I only remember watching the first one. But then as I was watching 2, 3, and 4, there were parts of those movies that I was like, oh, yes, I remember this specific part or this bit. And I remembered, um, I can't remember her character name, but Emma Roberts' character, Sydney's niece, is that her niece or her
Oh
cousin
yeah.
or something? I remember her being the one of the bad guys, but did not remember who the other one was. So the whole time I was going, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this character because I, for whatever reason, don't remember watching the movie, but remember her being it. But I was surprised at still who the other one was.
It's interesting though that I'm like, and we talked about this in the last episode where it's always more. It is almost always more than one, and but every time you're guessing, you don't guess two people because
Hmm.
it's difficult. You're like, oh, it's this person because of this reason. It's this person because of this reason, but it doesn't make as much sense why they're working together. They always have separate motives,
Hmm.
so it's hard to like put them together. Even when they're revealed, you're like, how do you guys meet? And you know,
We just like
one,
scary movies.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so, and that bleeds into the second one as well, I feel. Or not the second one, the fifth one, the one after
yeah.
this. But I enjoyed, yeah, just this one felt I don't want to say more like the first one, but as I because I 5 and 6 are more recent in my brain, that it's like those ones are so different. I say so different because it's still the same story and the same what people or whatever, but 1 through 4 is still in the same town with the same people, and 5 and 6 aren't. Um,
Five is still in the same town, but it's not the same people and the same.
true, yeah.
It
Um,
doesn't feel like the same town because all the other ones they go to like similar places or like it's kind of described in the same way, but in
yeah.
five it's not at all.
Okay, let's just move on to 5.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like to preface this by saying, and I've talked about this before. I think I did a whole big speech when Beetlejuice came out, where I was like, I absolutely despise the way people my age are depicted in films, specifically with actors like Jenna Ortega. It's not. I don't think it's anything about her or whatever, but it is usually her that I think about it. Where like I don't know if it's the writing or like the things that they do or the things that they say or the way they go about it, but I just hate all young people in films. Not all young people, people that are supposed to be like my age in the current age. Like,
hmm,
do you get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I disagree, but
I just
that's
dislike
so
them so
funny.
much.
I feel like it's a different thing for me because I don't know, growing up, people on TV, a lot of people on TV were in their early 20s or mid 20s, and now I am that age where I still think people on TV are older than I am. Um, but it actually isn't the case. So I find myself being like surprised. Like, oh wow, they're doing crazy things. I'm the same age as them. That's crazy. It's like
Crazy.
crazy, different thing. But anyway, 5 and 6 are so Wes Craven directed 1 through 4, but he died in 2015. So 5 and 6 are not directed by the same person as 1 through 4. That being said,
I did. Okay, pause for a second. Five
okay,
is that you credits roll whatever it says for Wes, and I had to Google who that was because I didn't know who that was. So
mm,
like usually when it's like for somebody, it's someone that they know, but they'll put like the full name or whatever. I'm like, oh, I know it's
yeah,
somebody's brother. It's somebody's brother. I did have to Google it,
mm,
so, but now I know.
yeah. When I was watching it, I did not know. I learned this until after the fact. Watching it, it did not occur to me that it was done by someone different because it feels still Scream, but just in a new age. Like it's modernized Scream, but it still holds very true to what Scream is in my book. So the fact that it was not directed by Wes, I think is very impressive of how it actually turned out
I think that's
for five.
especially so with five. But I
Mhm.
think six, in my mind, six is very different from even five.
Six, so I was saying in the last Scream one that they don't feel like horror movies. Six felt kind of like a horror movie to me. It was definitely a lot more like gory, gouge their eyeballs out, literally.
It
Um,
it was kind of odd because I there were certain scenes like when they're at the house at the end, and they you don't see when they died, but they're walking through and there are bodies and while they're being chased, or like the guy in the bathtub or whatever, and I'm like, this is like not like in my mind I'm like, this doesn't feel like a slasher, but this does feel like a different kind of horror movie. Like it doesn't
yes.
fit as well.
Yeah.
I do agree with you.
Yep. The opening, not the very opening, but like still the beginning of six, I was like, this has a different tone to it. But five still felt close to home, I guess you could say. Um, I do think the ending of five got a little out of hand.
Which one was that?
Five, so five is the one with Rat Quaid, and
Oh yeah, okay.
in the end,
This
yeah.
I did enjoy in five how Sydney and Gail are depicted, where it's like they're like, we've been through this, we know what's what, we're bros together as well, and like we'll do this whatever. The fact that it was the boyfriend, I actually enjoy that greatly. I thought that was very nice because that's what they do in the first movie, where they make you think it's the boyfriend, so you think it's the boyfriend, and then they go, no, it couldn't possibly be the boyfriend, and then it
Hmm.
is the boyfriend, and you were like, I thought it was the boyfriend, but it wasn't. Also,
Hmm.
I just like his character as well.
Yeah, I like Jack Quaid. I enjoyed his character too. But yeah, the whole bit at the end when they're like running throughout the house, um, like it felt like there was one too many stages of that end
I'll agree
scene.
with that.
Um, but that's also true to Scream as well. Like Scream often is like, we've killed the character, we're about to walk away, happy ending. Oh, they get back up and try to kill you one last time. Like,
That's one thing that. So in like one and two, probably maybe even three, they'll do things that are like regular horror movies. Oh, they close the fridge and there's a guy there, right? They'll do that, and then they start to make fun of it, and then they start to make fun of that they make fun of it, and so there's a bit in, I don't know if it's five or six, but there's a bit, it's whichever the one has the guy with the frosted tips. Is he in five or six? He must be in five because he's not in college. Five. There, he's at somebody's house. His mom is the police officer. They're playing it up like he's about to get killed in the same way that the first movie, or like Psycho, and he repeatedly is opening things and closing the door, and there's not somebody there. Oh, okay. Avi, they do this. They've done this before. Open it, close it, not someone there. Oh, second level. Open, close it, not someone there. He does this three separate times where there's nobody
mhm.
there. And it did get ridiculous. It just gets more and more ridiculous. Where they're like, oh, this thing's about to happen. What is
this
it? And they're like,
this
just
is the
kidding.
genius.
They
This
just
is the
keep adding
genius
more and
of
more.
Scream. There, there's all these gimmicks. Sorry, I need a cup of water. There's all these gimmicks in slashers, horror films, scary movies in general, all these things. They're they start to do all the gimmicks and then not actually do them. So they're like, gotcha, didn't do them. And then they do that over and over again. And then when you're like, oh, they're not going to do it, they actually do it. So they always get you every single time. I get got when I watch these movies, and it makes it so enjoyable. Like,
Yes.
when I like, I mentioned to our sister Tama, who has no interest in watching any Scream movies, but I'm like, I just love the Scream movies so much. She's like, why do you love them? I'm like, they're so fun. And she's like confused. Like, this is what I mean. They are so enjoyable and fun to watch because they get me and they do it perfectly every time.
You would think that like it's odd because in every sequel that comes after, they're making fun of it, right? Because the first one they're making fun of the genre, but
Hmm.
from two on they're making fun of Scream itself,
Hmm.
making fun of itself, and you'd think that get too muddy and too whatever, but I'm like, I think they do a good job. Like, it's very hard to do. But like what I'm saying, where like it's not just them doing the same thing again but more. It's them doing the same thing again but more. But also they here's what I'm trying to say. They anticipate what the audience will guess, and then
Yes.
based on what the audience they think what the audience will think based on what the audience thinks for things that they thought,
Hmm.
they add another one and they get you. Perfect amount of level of. I don't want to use the word meta because that's not what I think it is, but it is that kind of like
Yes.
we
Yeah.
got you.
Let's move on to six. Like we already talked about, this one is darker than the other ones. It is more gory, brutal. It's definitely more brutal, I think is a right word for it.
A
Um,
lot of all the other ones people get like stabbed in like their torso or their legs. In six, almost all the people get stabbed in the face, and like
or
this.
like, um, if those kind of things like gross you out, maybe six isn't for you. The very first, so like we say, the openings to every Scream are incredible. Opening for this one, you have the classic, oh, entrapment, whatever. Ghostface gets her. And then, shocking, takes off the mask. And you're like, what?
We
This has
see
never been done before. And then you're like, so in my mind, I was slightly disappointed when he takes off the mask because I'm like, they're giving the game away. Now we're gonna be watching, I thought it was gonna be, we're gonna be watching the movie and like seeing how this guy is Ghostface, but they got me again. And that guy got ghost faced, him and his partner. And the way that he finds his partner dead is immediately, I'm like, okay, we're taking it up a notch because he finds it's his whole body, I think, but his head is off his body in the fridge. So I'm like, okay, this is a different style of Scream. And already, I'm so into it. I got already in the best way possible.
it's very good. They know what you're thinking and they play off of that.
Hmm.
It's excellent.
Taking the mask off was genius. I enjoyed it so much. And speaking of the mask, because so this one is they're going back and like dropping all of the OG masks from the actual killers from the Scream previous is. Um and so like the OG masks are like weathered and cracked and like I love that. I'm like when I saw the like cracked mask the first time I'm like, yes, I love that look because it shows us that like we have this has been a franchise where like when did the first one came out? 96, I want to say. We're checking.
You want me fact check it?
Not Scream 7.
1996. You're right.
I'm a genius. 96. And now I guess it is 30 years later. Uh, Scream 7 is coming out. So, like, show us time has passed in like, just a visual way that you're like, obviously we're playing on the fact that we're going through the ages, but, like, the weathered masks was just, like, it's such a simple, but such a cool touch that I loved in
I
this
That's
one.
interesting that you bring it up because before I had seen the movie, like I said, I was aware of the promotional for at the very least five, probably six, and I had seen a lot of other not similar franchises, but things that same with like the revivals where I'm talking about. Well, they'll just take the old thing and they'll make it look old, and then they'll be like, now it's new. and I dislike that. I can't think of an example, but I know that I was thinking this before I saw these. But I disliked that I'm like, oh, they're just trying to make it look like grungy, and they're just trying to make it look like cool, new, whatever. But I do think they did this. I actually did like it because it's not just like them being like, this is the new mask, new year, new me, like kind of thing. It is the same mask being old, and you're like,
Mhm.
it is now. This is new, but the mask is old.
And
If you catch me.
it is realistic in the way it's cracked. Like that kind of rubbery texture does crack and rip in the way that it is in the movie.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of old things coming back, Kirby. Kirby is back.
I did not remember who she was
Oh,
until you
really?
explained it. I was like, she looks so familiar. What do I know her from? And I googled her and I was like, I don't know what she's in, but it's the character.
She's in
She's from
Scream.
yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, Kirby's back. Which is fine. Like, we love a legacy character. I think they needed to add, they brought her back, because there was less of Sydney in this movie, and Dewey's gone. So we just had Gale. And we needed something else legacy to really, I don't know, just
Something to
beef it
hold
up a
on
little bit.
to.
Yeah. Um, the ending, we all know Scream. So
I'm aware.
we all know Scream. Scream, notoriously, two killers. Scream 6, gotcha again. This time it's three. I thought that was perfect. We're at the sixth movie. What are we gonna throw in there? The third killer. I thought that was very good. I did at one point think it could be the cop, in the beginning of the movie, but then when his daughter died, I was like, "There's no way it's the cop. There's no
That's how
way."
they get you.
Yeah. And then the entire movie, they were pointing out, specifically pointing out how the loner kid, the guy from Avatar, what's his name? Ethan. The character's name is Ethan.
Is that why I recognize him?
He
I might
plays
not.
Spider
Yeah, I
in,
couldn't.
yeah.
Now I know.
So they were specifically pointing out throughout the entire movie that he's the one who's not there or at the wrong place at the wrong time. So, like, obviously, logic would say it's this guy. But because they were pointing it out so much, I'm like, well, it can't be this guy. They got me twice. And then the third time I got, oh, the daughter who died, she's not actually dead. Genius
I
trio
I
to be
thought
the killers.
the genius part of the reveal was right before the reveal when they're in the like bunker thing. What's her face gets a call and it's like the FBI lady is not who you think she is, and she's like, "Shoot, we know who the killer is."
Mm,
Turns out, no, perfect manipulation. We got you exactly the place we wanted you to go, even though we didn't put you there, but we planned to put you there, and now the tables have turned, and we know it's what. And then
yes.
they shoot her, and you're like, dang, oh my goodness.
Dang. Not Kirby, no.
No.
Well, she gets stabbed in the same spot she got stabbed in 4. Brutal. I did not realize though, because they go back, I was saying like these are the killers from the first time. These are the killers the second time. Had not occurred to me that was it the second one or the third one? Only has one killer.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't realize until they pointed it out either.
Yeah.
Not it's the second one is Billy's mom and that one guy,
Okay.
and the
Yeah, yeah.
third one
So
is
it's the producer. So
just
he's the
that
one
one guy.
killer.
Yeah.
Honestly, like even as we were going back talking about these, had not clocked it that it was only one guy. Because they're like, oh yeah, we have 9 killers before. And I'm like, 9? There's 2 for each movie, right? It should be 10. But no, three has one, and I never even noticed. That's how good they are. But then we round it out because this one has three. So we're back to 12. We're back to even 12.
That's
I
how you
just
got the idea.
literally, oh my gosh, Scream is so, I don't want to say brilliant, but I'm gonna say it. It's brilliant.
I think it's interesting because it's hard to make. I enjoy all these movies. I did enjoy all of them. I did enjoy them decreasingly. I like the first one the most, and then it goes down probably. But for the kind of movie that it is, and the kind of I do think they did an excellent job. I don't think they could have done a better job, especially through 2 through 4. Like they couldn't have done better. That's the top it could have been.
I think I cannot remember the specific ratings I gave these. I do agree with you, like, number one's my all-time fave, love, I stand. Then it does go a little bit less, less, less. But I did have a spike. I really enjoyed five. Five was very good to me. The ending lost it a little. Six, or no, sorry, six. I enjoyed six just as much as the beginning ones. Oh, okay. So I rated number one's a 10. Okay, tens all around number one.
Perfect movie.
Number six, I gave a 9. I really enjoyed six because I thought I knew what was going on, and then it turns out I didn't. It got me so good, you guys. I'm so excited for seven. If seven, here's the problem though. My expectations are high for seven now that we've gone and watched all of the previous, and I will be directly comparing it.
I'm expecting it to be. So I didn't like 6 as much as you did, because that's definitely below 5 for me. So I'm
Mm.
expecting 7 to be below 6, but still be enjoyable, and that's all I need. But I am excited to see it as it comes out because I feel like that's an exciting theater experience. Like
Yes. I probably should have watched the trailer for seven
I
before coming
didn't.
on here. Um, but like they talked about it in, well, we talked about this last episode, and they talked about it in, I believe, six, how Stu is dead.
But then
He's
they were like, "Is he dead?"
he's in seven. So I need to watch the trailer for seven.
In 6, they make a comment about, "Is he actually dead?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because in, I think it is six because they have the boards of like who connects to who, and they have Stu, and they have a death date for Stu under his picture. I noted that while I was watching the movie. I was like, okay, he's confirmed dead. No, so I need to go watch the trailer for seven. But I guess I would not be mad if Stu actually wasn't dead because they say it in every movie, or every movie that's on the newer end of these, where like they're never really dead. Like you have to make sure these guys are dead.
He did not get shot in the head.
Yeah. So I would not be mad if he came back that way. But yeah, I'm I'm excited. I am ready for this. And I believe Sydney is playing a bigger role in seven than she has in six. So,
That's one thing I'm surprised, having now watched all of these, that she's in them, especially 5 and 6. I thought this would be a kind of a franchise that they dropped the characters quickly and then just kept going. But they don't. It's still the same. Well, that now, but it's still the same group
yeah. I
mostly.
mean, like I'm looking at her credits and she's in quite a few things, but I couldn't tell you. I've not seen any single one of them except for the Scream movies.
Let's.
Like
I'm gonna.
she is riding high on these Scream paychecks, I'm sure. As she should. She Scream, I heard somebody talking about they were talking about directors for horror films, and I can't remember the other one, but one of them was Wes Craven, and they were like, who was more important to horror movies? And like Wes really started the like this movement for slashers and horror films like Scream. And so he was saying, he was like, in that sense, I think Wes is like more important, but like some of the other people had bigger credits, more credits than just the Scream movies. But like Scream for me is at the top of the list,
Have you
and I
seen the
don't see
other
it being beaten.
slashers?
Well, no, but I'm just saying horror films
Yeah.
in general.
It's hard to find. You've mentioned it before in this episode that it's like it's hard to find one that's as fun.
Hmm.
It's they're just as like they stay horror, Which we've talked about how like like don't mix genres. You can't have action and comedy. You can't have whatever. I don't consider this comedy, but it
Mm-mm.
is a fun movie, and that's
It's
still hard to do.
fun, but it's not like haha funny. There's a
Yeah,
difference. There's a difference. But yeah, I just love Scream so much. Becca and I will be sat in that theater when it comes out. This one is coming out, I believe, the week before. So next week, if things go according to plan. Wait, hold on. Let me just check my schedule actually. Hold on.
you have the episodes in your
Okay,
calendar.
yeah, pretty sure next week we should be talking about Scream 7. Unless something crazy happens. According to my notes, Scream 7 is next week, and I cannot wait. Me in the future listening to this, I am so excited. Yeah,
It's the way that this is all set up is so funny to me because it's you recording this for you, and then you enjoy it, and then you talk to me about it again while we're recording
yes,
it for you as well.
literally. This podcast is the only thing keeping me afloat these days. This is what I look forward to every week. My own voice and your voice, but
Sometimes
still,
it is just you. Like if you go and see a movie that I haven't seen, it will just be you recounting the movie and then me
honestly,
going, no yeah, no yeah, for an hour.
there is going to be one of those coming up. So there's a handful of movies that just I have seen that there's no way I'm going to get Becca to watch, but I need to. So we're grouping them all together. That might I think that one's actually coming out before this one anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's all I've got. I'll just keep if I keep talking, I'll just keep rambling about how much I love Scream, and we've all heard
It's
that before.
it's
So,
so funny to me, and I've probably have mentioned this before, where like if you love a movie, all you're like is like it's so good, it's so good,
mhm.
it's iconic, it's so good. But if you dislike a movie, you like talk about individual things or whatever. But if it's good, you're just like it's good. Ten
It
out of
is
10.
so good.
No notes.
That's why you're here. You have to like actually talk about stuff.
Yeah,
And I'm just like,
we've bounced back and forth.
yeah. Okay, well, you got any news? Any tidbits I need to know before we clock out?
Tidbits. Um, I do believe that's it.
Okay. On that note, see you later. Love you. Bye.
Bye.